I don't know who he fights or if he fights, but
Uh,
anything PBC should be an easier fight to make.
I think they just got to start making them. I mean, I don't know if they're just trying to see how this Tim Zoo thing goes before they announce a whole bunch of stuff, but they need to start adding some interest to that deal that they have. So
I agree. Uh,
that's how I feel about it.
Speaking of PBC, I want to go back to Tank. So I Tank is to me is the face of boxing. I don't want to see any more
Hmm.
tune-ups, like at all. I think he should step probably to like a Frank Martin fight or Jose Venezuela. I think one of those two would be perfect, and then you go get Shakur or even Devin Haney after that.
Shakur unretires.
He did.
Uh,
I think he's fighting this May or June, from what he said too.
okay, okay. Um, yeah. I mean, I think the Frank Martin fight can be classified as less of a stay busy fight, even though in my head I feel like the Martin fight's a stay busy fight.
Kinda.
Uh, but I think that it's kind of tough. He's kind of pricing himself out here. Like people got to commit to what goes in a fighting Tank along with his power. And guys are pricing themselves out when they find out they can fight Tank, and he's priced himself. I heard that the Conor Ben fight was also on the table too with his own.
15 mil, bro. He declined 15 mil.
Yeah, so that's why I mean like pricing each other out. Like I think that his situation is turned into both sides pricing each other out one way or the other, and I don't know if his value has been like fully realized or if people just feel like he's not worth. I don't know. It's so weird with his situation where he's at in his career, where it's obviously the Ryan fight was the biggest fight to make that happened. Now it's like okay, you got to keep on that trajectory. You can't go back to the PBC top rank way of just fighting in house these like whoever's up next essentially like you just have that rotating revolving door of people they keep putting in there and he's got to start making some waves and I don't know. I'm curious to see how he goes about doing that or how
Bro,
his team does.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. The only wave he can make would be going to 140. I mean, that's pretty much it. Because at this rate, he can clean his division up, but there's really nobody to fight in his division outside of Shakur.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
There's nobody exciting. So,
I
I mean, I think there's good fights for him. Like, I think Frank Martin's a good fight. That's a great fight.
mm-hmm,
Um, Jose Venezuela is a decent fight. I think he gets him out of there in probably 6 rounds, 7 rounds.
mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I just if you're talking about a splash move, he's got to go to 140.
Yeah, and I mean I'm sure he's okay with that but I don't know it seems like they just drag their feet with his career.
They wasted his
So
career, bro. They've wasted his career, in my opinion.
yeah, and for it to be the face of boxing, it would have wasted away career. You know what I mean? Like it's just seeing shit like that just hurts the
Mm-hmm.
sport.
Mm-hmm. That's why
So
people don't really respect boxing, but I'm always gonna be a fan, bro. Always. I know you are.
I'm
You're the same way.
absolutely, absolutely.
What I mean, we already talked about Tim Zoo. I mean, I still think the Tim Zoo and Keith Thurman fight is 60-40.